The brutal murder of Dino Bravo shocked the wrestling world in 1993. A former Canadian wrestling hero was found dead in his own living room, shot 17 times, 10 bullets to his body, 7 to his head. The remote control was still in his hand when his wife found him. This wasn't a random break-in. The killers were people he knew, people he trusted, people he had let into his home. There were no signs of forced entry. 2 different guns were used by at least 2 shooters. Police called it a mob execution, a settling of accounts. But how did a beloved wrestling champion end up executed like a common criminal? How did Dino Bravo go from headlining arenas to being gunned down in his own house? The answer lies in the choices he made after his wrestling career ended. Choices that led him straight into the deadly world of organized crime. Let's rewind to the beginning. Adolfo Bresciano was born on August 6, 1948 in Italy. 3 years after World War II ended, his family moved to Montreal, Quebec. They settled in the Centre-Sud neighborhood with other Italian immigrants. From age 12, young Adolfo was obsessed with wrestling and weightlifting. His whole life revolved around getting stronger. By 1970, he had become Dino Bravo. The name came from another wrestler. He was trained by Dino Bravo and made his professional debut. His size and strength got him noticed fast. For the next 15 years, he bounced between Montreal and American wrestling territories. In Canada, Dino Bravo was a superstar. He worked for Grand Prix Wrestling and Lutte Internationale. Fans loved his exciting, agile style. Nothing like the muscle-bound character he'd later become. He won tag team gold with his trainer Gino Brito twice. They were billed as cousins. Bravo also found success in America. He held the WWF World Tag Team Championship with Dominic DeNucci for 6 months. He won titles in NWA Hollywood and Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling too, but his real home was Quebec. In his home province, Bravo was unstoppable. He won the Canadian International Heavyweight Championship 6 times. He was the most popular Canadian champion of his era. Fans called him a man of the people. His hometown popularity actually dwarfed Hulk Hogan's. That's how beloved he was. But there was darkness in his family tree. His uncle by marriage was Vincenzo Vic Catroni. Vic was the head of Montreal's most powerful crime family. He was also a capo in New York's Bonanno crime family. Vic had married Bravo's aunt, Maria Bresciano. The connection went deeper. Vic Catroni was also a former professional wrestler. He had competed under the name Vic Vincent. Wrestling and crime ran in the family. Vic repeatedly offered Bravo a place in the family business. But Bravo always said no. He wanted to focus on wrestling. That choice would haunt him later. In 1986, everything changed. Bravo signed with the World Wrestling Federation. The WWF was the biggest wrestling company in the world. This was his shot at national stardom. But success came with a price. The WWF completely changed his character. Gone was the agile, exciting wrestler Quebec fans loved. In his place was a bleached blonde heel. A villain. He was repackaged as Canada's strongest man. Later, he became the world's strongest man. His new gimmick was all about raw power. Body slams and clotheslines replaced his technical skills. He was managed first by Johnny Five, then by Frenchie Martin. Many fans thought these partnerships led his career nowhere. The defining moment came at the 1988 Royal Rumble. Bravo attempted to bench press 715 pounds in front of a live audience. It was completely fake. Jesse the Body Ventura secretly helped lift the bar. But it made great television. The crowd bought it. Despite the stunt, Bravo was legitimately strong. He could press over 500 pounds for real, but the strongman gimmick was a creative dead end. Critics said he had lost his agility. All he could do in the ring was pose. His finisher was a bland sidewalk slam that nobody took seriously. This transformation stripped away everything that made him special. The dynamic wrestler became a static marketing tool. His in-ring identity was completely gone. He went from beloved hero to hated villain almost overnight. Bravo's WWF run was psychologically brutal. He feuded with Hulk Hogan, but never won the big matches. He slipped further down the card each year. He was continuously beaten in ways that wounded his pride. By 1992, Vince McMahon had seen enough. His contract wasn't renewed. He was quietly released from the company. A conversation between his friend Rick Martel and WWF official Pat Patterson revealed the truth. Vince didn't want to have him back, Patterson said. Bravo didn't fit anymore in our plans. The rejection was devastating. The very gimmick that brought him national attention had destroyed his career. It was almost self-inflicted. He had traded his wrestling ability for a character that ultimately failed. The end of his wrestling career was a disaster. Bravo had lived a high lifestyle. Sports Mercedes, large home, expensive tastes. But he wasn't cut out for a regular job. He had no business experience outside wrestling. Wrestling was his whole life. His pride was shattered when he had to borrow money from his mother to pay bills. This was his breaking point. The humiliation was too much. A man who had been adored by thousands was now begging for help from his elderly mother. With his wrestling career over, Bravo's options were limited. The old territory system was dead. His fame had faded. He couldn't accept the reality of a 9-to-5 job. He had built his life around celebrity and high income. That's when he gave in to his uncle's wishes. He turned to organized crime. The connection had always been there. His business partner Dino Bravo had been arrested in a loan-sharking ring. Rumors had long linked Bravo to the Montreal underworld. Some claimed he had worked as a chauffeur for Paul Catroni, Vic's son. Bravo confided in Rick Martel about his decision. He knew he could make really good money in crime, but he had always resisted because he knew his demons. He always wanted more and more. That internal struggle ended with his retirement. He used his imposing physical presence to become a debt collector, then a mob enforcer for his criminal family. The irony was obvious. His uncle Vic had also been a wrestler who turned to crime. It seemed like a predetermined fate. In the early 1990s, a new opportunity emerged. Illegal cigarette trafficking. High taxes made cigarettes expensive in Canada. A carton could cost 50 Canadian dollars. Bravo saw his chance. He became involved in cigarette smuggling, allegedly working for the Catroni crime family. He was successful too. He established a monopoly with native smuggling routes along the St. Lawrence River. The native smugglers were big wrestling fans, which helped his business. Bravo's operation was so efficient, he reportedly bought a cigarette relabeling operation in Champlain, New York. This made the smuggling process even smoother. At first, cigarette smuggling seemed low risk. One smuggler said getting caught was only a slap on the wrist. But Bravo's success attracted attention from more dangerous criminals. A major cocaine dealer wanted into the cigarette business. Bravo allegedly allowed him to join the operation. This decision proved fatal. In the weeks before his death, Bravo became careless. His widow, Diane Rivest, said he trusted too many people too quickly. A police raid 5 days before his murder changed everything. Hundreds of cases of contraband cigarettes and tobacco were seized. The haul was worth upwards of $400,000. Blame for the bust fell on Bravo. There were rumors he had been skimming money or was involved in a separate cocaine bust. The seized contraband was a significant financial loss. The Catroni family couldn't ignore it. The fiasco with confiscated contraband sealed his fate. In his final days, Bravo knew he was in danger. He confided in friends like Bret Hart that he was nervous. His days were numbered, he said. He was right. On March 10, 1993, Dino Bravo was home alone. His wife and daughter had gone to ballet lessons. He was watching a hockey game from his recliner when the killers arrived. They were people he knew, people he trusted. He let them into his home without hesitation. Then they betrayed him in the most brutal way possible. 17 bullets ended his life, 10 to his torso, 7 to his head. The remote control was still loosely held in his hand when his wife found him. He never saw the attack coming. Shell casings from 2 different guns were found, a .22 and a .380. At least 2 shooters were involved. Police immediately labeled it a settling of accounts for the confiscated contraband. Despite the obvious mob connection, no arrests were ever made. The murder officially remains unsolved. This is a testament to the Catroni family's operational effectiveness and code of silence. The killers were professionals who left no trail. While Bravo's life had been a public spectacle, his death was a private criminal affair, a final, chilling act of the underworld he chose to enter. Today, Dino Bravo's legacy is complicated. Older fans remember him as a fantastic wrestler and one of the all-time greats in Canadian wrestling. For a later generation, he's just a tragic figure defined by the gruesome circumstances of his death. His story is a cautionary tale about pride and the fleeting nature of fame. The physical strength that was his greatest asset proved useless against his personal demons and the deadly world of organized crime. Bravo couldn't adapt when his wrestling career ended. He chose the easy path of crime over the hard work of starting over. That choice led him straight to his execution. The man who was once stronger than anyone in the ring was powerless against the forces he unleashed. His greed and inability to accept a normal life sealed his fate. He went from beloved hero to mob victim through his own decisions. In the end, Dino Bravo's downfall wasn't caused by bad booking or creative differences. It was caused by his refusal to let go of the lifestyle his fame had given him. When the spotlight faded, he chose darkness. And that's the story of Dino Bravo, the wrestler who became a mob victim. What do you think? Was his downfall inevitable? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from wrestling's dark side.